Hello everyone, how are you doing? Welcome back to the channel. I am TheSaffronMan and this is RedVsRed, your new favourite Manchester United fan channel. And there's lots gone on in the last 24-48 hours. The last thing I mentioned to Sporadiclese on our podcast at the weekend was, do you think Erik Ten Hag will be here next time we talk? And with a sigh of exasperation, he goes, yeah, he'll still be here. And then we wake up to literally the next day and the news is Erik Ten Hag has been sacked. Now, I'm kind of surprised at the timing, even though the result against West Ham was that bad. It felt like no one was kind of talking about it. A couple of weeks ago, everyone kind of wanted Ten Hag out pretty much, and it just didn't happen. But after the defeat to West Ham's like a resounding, we were all kind of numb to it anymore. And without anyone kind of talking about Ten Hag, thinking he's going to stay till Christmas or something, it's done. He goes into work on the Monday morning. He's been told straight up, so look, we're letting you go. Ruud's going to take charge. We've paid Erik Ten Hag's fee clause for getting rid of him. And I thought that was going to be a big problem. Because I thought that was why we hadn't sacked him up until this point, because the fee is quite high. I thought the fee was around 30 million, which is giving that security. But it turns out it's 15 million, so they've decided to pay it, and away he goes. And then the next thing we know, in the statement which United gave to us on Monday, is that RedVsRed is going to be interim head coach up until that point. And I'm pretty sure, like yourself, every other Manchester United fan is just buzzing with that news. Everyone is looking forward to the Leicester game. I wasn't looking forward to the Leicester game. During the podcast again, I was like, oh no, that's it's not going to be good news. I think Ruud's going to bring a new enthusiasm to the team and to the lineup that he plays. We're going to talk about the lineup that we're going to get to in a little bit. But yeah, I think it's really good news. Of the swiftness and the timing of this. And literally breaking news as well today is that AMORIM or Manchester United have agreed to pay the £8.6 million release clause for AMORIM. So Sporting are on the stock exchange, so they've had to let their investors know publicly that Manchester United are interested in signing that clause, and so that's how this has all kind of come about today. So everyone's kind of saying that it is guaranteed to sign. I'm sure there are conversations to be had. Omar Barada and Dan Ashworth are currently in Sporting talking to AMORIM and his representatives today. So this is happening really quickly. I think we're going to have AMORIM ready to go for Chelsea. Ruud might still be in interim charge by Chelsea, especially if he comes in on a Friday afternoon or something like that. I think he's going to need a couple of days to kind of at least get settled and just have a look at his surroundings, his environment, what needs to happen. You can't just walk into a club like Manchester United and just start working. You need to evaluate your surroundings. And yeah, he's going to need a little bit of time. But overall, I think everyone's really excited about this. It's a new dawn. It's a new hope. It's a new era. But yeah, I think it's now let's just go and have a quick look at some of the news articles. Now, Daily Mail are going to be saying Ruben Amorim will be Manchester United manager. Everyone's just saying that the same thing at the moment. To get limited January transfer budget, of course, because we spent quite a lot, so that'll be interesting to see what happens there. So Amorim has done well. He's won two league trophies on the bounce for the first time in 19 years for Sporting Lisbon. He's 39 years old. He's going to be Manchester United's youngest ever manager. He likes to play 3-4-3 pretty much, or 3-4-1-2, however you want to see it. So he's going to bring some new tactics and new style towards us, right? I saw this as well. Luke Shaw suffers new setback in injury comeback for Manchester United. So what's this say? Another setback. Conducted pre-match press conference. Process is not going as we expected. Ten Hag said that's the truth. The setback, if you want to call it like this, also do it very careful. When he is now dropping again, we want to be very careful. We know his past. We have to do this right because we want him to be available, because he'll have a big impact on our performances and also on our levels. But yeah, it looks like he's just going in and out, in and out. But yeah, I apparently, yeah, that's really disappointing, right? But yeah, everyone's kind of breaking that Manchester United have got their brand new manager. And I think it's very positive news. I think it's very exciting. I think just that freshness. I have no idea how he's going to react to the players in the squad. I don't know how the squad players are going to react to him. There could well be some aftermath. But you best believe that the fans are going to be backing their manager. So the players need to buck up. They do. There's only so many managers that they can go through and keep blaming and not blame themselves. It's kind of crazy. But yeah. So, yeah, the news articles are aplenty about what's going on, and I'm sure there's going to be more breaking news as the days and hours go by. I think AMORIM is going to be confirmed by Friday. I think he's going to be ready and available for Chelsea, but I think he's just going to let Rude take charge of Chelsea, especially if we do well against Leicester. So let's kind of talk about that build-up to Leicester. And it's a big game. A lot bigger now, because we need to see something. We need to see a reaction. Maybe AMORIM will give Rude a heads up for a formation to change. This is very interesting. What does RedVsRed do now? How does he take this? Does he say, hey, this is my opportunity to put myself in the window before anything gets signed? I think with the actions of Manchester United, how swiftly they've been, I think Rude knows that AMORIM is going to be coming in, right? So this is just a caretaker position for the next few days, right? And I think he will still be assistant coach again. I think they'll still keep the same system. It'll just be a different manager, and they'll go from there. So, how does Rude go about it? And I'm thinking, well, he has to give some people some minutes. It's a League Cup. He's not going to play the best starting 11. I think he's going to give some people some minutes. I think he's going to mix it up a little bit. So we'll see. This is what I've kind of come up. I've tried to get in the mind of RedVsRed. And this is what I've come up with. I'm going to stick with the same formation for the moment. Ideally, I would love him to try some kind of 4-4-2 for one match against Leicester and just bombard. We're at home. I think just bombard the box. But I don't think he's going to go 4-4-2. I think he's going to stick with the same formation, just mix up some of the players, right? So as you can see, we've got RedVsRed as a manager there now instead of Erik ten Hag. I've gone with Onana. I don't think there's any competition really for him. I don't think Bayindir is at the same level. I don't think Onana's at an elite level at all. Obviously, he's made some great saves. It's just his positioning and his distribution. I'm just not sure about him. But he's our best goalkeeper, so he's going to be in, right? We've had an injury to Mazraoui, which looked pretty bad. So we're going to have to put Delo at right back. If we had options, I would give Delo a rest because he hasn't been playing great. So let's give him an opportunity, I guess, under Rude to try and put that right, a fresh start for him. I think the partnership of De Ligt and Evans, if Evans is available, maybe he's got a knock or an injury or something. But if Evans is available, I think he's going to be that leader, as he always is, at the back. He's going to be calm with De Ligt, and I think he's going to be calm with those in and around him, which we're going to get to in a second. I just think if he's fit and available, he always puts out 8, 9s out of 10s, and I think, especially if you're going to change things up a little bit, give Martinez a rest. Let's give Evans that run out, because I think it's going to be a solid partnership with him and De Ligt. So yeah, but look, Harry Amass at left back. It's a League Cup game. We don't have a left back. Mazraoui is injured. Martinez needs a little bit of a break. If this kid doesn't get to, Rude has nothing to lose here. He's in charge for one game, maybe two. Give the kid a break. You know, give him a run out against Leicester. Let's see what he's got. You know, make it happen. Same thing for Collier. We're looking for energy in the midfield, some legs, some running, some power. some athleticism, right? We don't have no speed in the midfield with Casemiro or with Eriksen. Now, Eriksen's been our player of the match, player of the season so far this year. He's been really outstanding. But look, we spent 50 million on Ugarte, and Collier, the only time we've seen Collier was against Liverpool when we were losing, and he replaced Casemiro, and he performed good. He looked good. He looked dangerous. He looked up for it. He looked tenacious. And we've been missing some tenacity, especially since Scott McTominay has been sold. There's no one really with tenacity in it. So the midfield of Ugarte and Collier, you've got tenacity in abundance. You've got legs. You've got power. You've got motivation. You've got height in Collier. He's a tall lad. I think this could be a partnership in the midfield. Built on over a while. I think this could really work. The best of Uruguay, and I think Collier and Ugarte is a match made in heaven. Ugarte needs some minutes. Collier needs some minutes. We need to freshen up the midfield. This makes sense to me. Will Rude go down that route? I hope so. I hope Collier and Amas get some minutes. I want to see Ugarte playing. I think this would be really cool. So, moving on to the midfield and to the attack. Ahmad has been frozen out of late. Anthony's not going to get a chance, I don't think. Ahmad needs some minutes. I think Ahmad will start. He should be fresh. He should be raring to go. Hopefully, things start triggering for him. Xerxes, I would love to see Højlund and Xerxes both up front. Xerxes just dropping a little bit deep every now and then, but both of them being up front. Collier and Ugarte should be enough to run around in the midfield. If we can play with two up front, I think Rude might do that. But to start, I think Xerxes is just going to drop. We're resting Bruno. I think he's gone through a lot. Let's just rest Bruno, put him on the bench if needed, bring him on with half an hour to go if needed. But I think Xerxes needs some minutes. Højlund needs some service. He's not getting it with Bruno. Let's see if these two can link up and play. They're both tall, big lads. Obviously, Xerxes loves to drop deep. Højlund loves to be on the edge of the shoulder. I think it's a good combination. If you have Xerxes in front of Ugarte and Collier, that's with Højlund always being a threat. That looks good to me. Bruno could always come onto the right-hand side in the game instead of Anthony. If Ahmad doesn't work in 60 minutes, take him off, bring on Bruno, stick him on the right-hand side, let him be that creative powerhouse. Rashford on the left-hand side. Again, he's got a point to prove. He's actually been decent, averaging performances this season, and he's been doing okay. He's been looking like his old self. So let's play him. Let's keep on playing him. Let's keep getting him back into form. If it doesn't work out, 60 minutes ago, bring on Garnacho and then bring a live wire into play. Put Rashford on the right, Garnacho on the left, Xerxes off and put Bruno in. We have options. But yeah, we need to keep everyone fresh. We need to get our squad players involved in these matches so they feel like they can make the difference and be important later on in the season. You can't just keep freezing out your squad players. So I think Rude is going to give an opportunity or two to a couple of people. I was thinking about maybe Wheatley up top, but I think Wheatley will be on the bench. I think Højlund will have a good 75 minutes or so, and then Wheatley might come on after. But yeah, I mean, we have so many wonder kids in our academy. He could bring on Chido Obi-Martin for 10 minutes. He could stack the bench with youngsters, and that would be the perfect message to send. Because not a lot of these first team players have deserved to be playing. Evans deserves to play. I think Ugarte deserves a chance. Rashford deserves his minutes because he's been looking back to decent-ish form. Xerxes hasn't been given half a chance yet. Ahmad needs a chance. Højlund needs a chance with the team giving him service. But yeah, I think this is... Deleu's only playing because he has to, because we've got no one else. Mazraoui's injured. We don't have a left... We could play Martins at left-back, but that's not his jam. And we need to get Amas in the squad. He's our only fit left-back. Luke Shaw is now injured again. Tyrell Malacia is still in training. We need a fit left-back, at least learning some minutes. So Amas has to play. But Yeah, lots of crazy news for Manchester United. Obviously, AMORIM coming on in and is going to be... I'm excited. I was excited when Ten Hag joined because of his prestigious... because of what he did with Ajax. I'm more interested in AMORIM, not purely because of his age. It's a young man's game now. You see younger managers coming through all the time. It's evolving rather rapidly. And I think AMORIM would have the tactical know-how to adjust mid-game. Ten Hag's substitutions, one of his faults, wasn't very exciting. Doesn't make sense. None of his, because squad rotation or this, that, he's injured. It wasn't, like, his subs never made. I think AMORIM's substitutions will have a practical, visual difference on the game. Like, you will see, he's not squad rotating purely for the sake of it. I think he's going to change something. He doesn't like that in midfield. He doesn't like our service out wide. Our front man isn't getting the service, always coming too deep. I think he'll make those changes to suit the tactics that he wants. I'm so excited. I'm really looking forward to it. But I'm even more so looking forward to Ruud and backing Ruud against Leicester City. I think he's going to take a chance or two. I think it's going to be really good fun. I'm looking forward to, it hasn't been fun watching Manchester United of late. Draw here, draw there, haven't won in Europe for a year. We concede goals sillily. It has been really frustrating, right? But this is a new dawn now. This is a new era. We get behind Ruud until AMORIM comes on in, and we get behind AMORIM, and we hope that he makes all the changes in the world, and we actually start winning games again. If Ruud can get us a win against Leicester, even that will just give us that extra lift, because we haven't won in a fair bit. So get us that lift, get those youngsters involved, get people playing for the badge. Let them enjoy the experience on the pitch. But yeah, I've been the Saffron Man. I hope you've enjoyed it, the video. I hope you hit the follow button for us. And Sporadiclese will be back on Friday for his video. So get notified for that by hitting the bell. And yeah, thanks for showing your support. We'll be back again for the podcast at the weekend after the Chelsea game. So stay tuned. Let us know what you think down below in the comments. And I will see you guys next time. Till then, peace.